So I've been working on some ideas because of the land impact here. When you're renting a property, my land impact here is about 400 maximum, right? So normally when I go and click on the land impact, it actually tells me I've got more than what I really have. Actually, it thinks I've got what was it, 491, which I don't, because when I actually do a proper scan, let's see, I think I've got my name still in there, I don't know. Yeah, so when I do a proper scan, right, I actually have, with the tower in place, and doing inspect, I actually have 403 prims, so I'm a fraction over. It's just over there on the left there. Oh, is my mouse? Oh, I keep forgetting about this. Is my mouse? Yeah, my mouse is active. So at the moment, it just takes me a fraction over 403 prims, right? Over here, right? So obviously, I want to be careful I don't. I'll close that. I want to be careful that I don't go over too much, right? Because I don't want to overload my area. So I made this spawner, and everything that's spawned, everything that's rezzed rather, only has a finite lifetime because it's got a delete script in it. So I edited the somber tower in my inventory so that it's got an automatic delete, and the delete basically times out after 7,200 seconds, which is 2 hours, right? I could set it for deleting if you're sitting on it or anything, but I don't want to do that. I just want it on a timer. So I set it so that when it's rezzed, it only has 2 hours maximum, which is more than enough time if you're fighting a fire, you know what I mean? So if I just delete it manually, because I want to show you the actual spawner thing. If I zoom in on it, it's just a little donut. I called it the Somber Burn Tower spawner, and I set it up in the script to, I created another tower which was named 2 hour Somber Fire Training Tower, right? So it only rezzes for 2 hours maximum. The rezzed basically very simple. It will. I set the. A friend helped me with this part because it was a bit difficult to get the angle right because it was facing the wrong way. It kept facing the wrong way all the time, so we had to get this degrees thing set up and that. But I also had to adjust the altitude, and I think it won't go any higher than 10. So I set it to an altitude of 10 meters off the ground, because I think the center of axis for the tower is about I have to put a space in here because I can't save it otherwise. To reset it, I could reset it manually. So the center of the axis for the tower is somewhere in the middle somewhere, right? And so I couldn't get it high enough up. It kept, when it was spawned, it was underground, right? So I had to put 10 meters on there, which wouldn't go any higher than that for some reason. I'll save it, and the time, there's also a timer in the actual spawner. So after it's spawned a tower, it will pause. Well, it goes to sleep for 7,200 seconds. So it won't spawn anything for 2 hours. So you can't end up with multiple towers overlapping, right? So you spawn one tower, and then you got to wait till the other tower's deleted itself before you can spawn another one, right? So now when I click on this donut, right, click on it and back out, it spawns a new tower where you can do fire practice, which is about let's see, how many prims is that? According to this, it's 25 prims, right? So when you start adding stuff up, when you've got animation, other things on the land, the tower is 25 prims. Now, it took me a while to get it set up right, but now it's perfectly set up on the land so that it doesn't actually go underneath the ground. It's perfectly set up on the land. I rezzed a cube, and I used the cube as a measuring stick to measure the distance between the ground and my actual spawner here, so I could get that the right altitude, because it has to be basically well, it turns out it has to be about level with the first base. Otherwise, if it's not, then more or less level with that other bit of land in the distance. Otherwise, it was not. It was either up in the air or it was kind of underground. So I got that right, and it works now. So now for 2 hours the tower will remain, and then it will delete itself. So that's great if you have maybe fire training practice, probably what, maybe once in a blue moon. You don't want the tower there to be all the time, because it's a bit of an eyesore if it's there all the time, you know what I mean? You can see it from quite a long way away if my draw distance is set right. I don't want to bother the neighbours with a great big massive eyesore for too long. And it saves me having to set it up, right? So normally you'd have to go out, far about setting all this stuff up, you know. If you had a bunch of things you wanted to set up for fire practice, right, you know, doing fire trucks and all that. If you had a whole bunch of these things, you'd have to manually set them all up and say, oh, where do I want to put it, blah blah blah. But it's best to work all that stuff out first, right, and then stick it in a spawner, and then all you have to do is go clicking stuff and it appears. I also set one up for the fire truck, right, over here, right, and there's one in my driveway for the fire truck. So if I click on that one, back out, my fire truck appears, and that will be there for 1 hour. So that's only there for an hour, right? So it's great if you're doing role play and you haven't got a lot of time to set stuff up. You can just literally click on everything and set everything up instantly, and you're ready to go. So now with the fire truck and the tower, my current landing pack would be, let's see where my current land impact is probably going to be quite a bit high now. Let's see where we are, like this. Select A, all, inspect, it's control A by the way. Now I'm at 501 prims. I think that's right. Let me check, I can't see that. Yeah. So I'm over 100 prims over my maximum of 400 for this rental, right? So it's taken me up to 501 prims, right? Well, that's only while everything's there, which is only temporary, really. Obviously, if I drive the truck, it'll be off my plot of land rental anyway. And then there's my animesh, which add up. So I don't want all that stuff rezzed all at the same time. And I could just delete my fire truck. I've set it up actually, so it's I drained half the fuel in it, so it's only got about half a tank of gas in it, so that anyone who wants to play around filling it up from the gas pump can do that now. So I've set up a gas pump as well, but that's I had to set that permanent because you can't res that, because it has to calibrate. Every time you res it, it has to be calibrated. You have to initialize it, and so it gives anyone that wants to play around the opportunity to fill the tank, right, because it's empty right now. So if I actually click on the pump, right, now, use pump, and then I click on diesel, then I click on, let's see, I might be too far away. If I click on, let's see, yeah, I'm too far away. It says I'm more than 16 meters away, so it won't work, right? But normally you click on the gas thing and it will fill the tank. So yeah, I'm too far away at the moment. Just a minute, let me just see if I can get myself nearer. Hang on. forgotten where I am. I think I've sat down eating bacon somewhere. Oh, right. I need to stand up. Right, now I should be able to oh, I need to do it again. Just a minute. Now I'm a bit nearer, it should work. So if I click on use pump, diesel, and now I can fill it up. I'm not wearing the hood. Oh, damn it. It might, oh yeah, I need to wear the other hood. Hang on. Need to be wearing my driver thing. Try it now. Hang on. Diesel, press that. I didn't press diesel, that's why. Right, now it should work. So now it's filling up with diesel. And I did drain it considerably out of diesel. So now it's filling up, you see. So I mean, I can spawn my fire truck just, you know, for roleplay stuff, you know. Obviously if I want to do the maintenance on the truck, ideally I need to keep it out all the time so I can do the maintenance on it all the time. You know, when you're driving you need to do repairs and you need to top up the oil, but I run it down quite a bit actually, so that the oil actually is low, so it wants topping up anyway. So if we check under the hood, it says the engine repairs 100%, which is good, but the oil is low. The oil's at 80%, it says in the chat down here, and the coolant is at 69%. So there's plenty of jobs to do on that, but this is only a temp anyway. It's only rest for an hour, so so every time this rezzes, it's going to be empty. So, you know what I mean? So people, there's something to do, you know, something to practice on, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about really, it's just practicing really. So yeah, I'm not sure how much diesel it's going to take. Anyway, I just thought I'd do a video about these spawners really. It saves an awful lot of time, you know. See you later. Oops.